I guess first of all, it's got to be good to be home. You've only been home once since middle of December.
Yeah, that's a great point by you, and we are very fortunate to be back. And like it, the guys are sleeping in their own beds, and you know what, the energy's been good this week. Coming off a back-to-back road series and getting back into the flow of school and workouts in the mornings during the week, and so it's been good. But we're very, very happy to be home.
Comment on your health of your team right now in terms of Mark and Jake, and
I'll know more later on today. Should be, I think, a little clearer by tomorrow on what availability is going to be for this weekend.
Okay. Doing a little thing on a couple of your seniors who had good weekends last weekend, and Nick and Josh, and just kind of their relationship going back, to well before they were even here. Just talk a little bit about what they've kind of meant to this program over 4 years, and certainly they really kind of stepped up their game even more so than they normally do, which is a lot. Last weekend against Bowling Green,
a high-end character, high-end commitment to the Wii game, and they're okay with other people getting recognized for those commitments, whether it's guys scoring goals, blocking shots, defending. They're, to have them be part of our program, they've helped progress our program culture-wise, in the community, but most importantly inside that locker room. You don't know what you have until it's gone. I don't look forward to that day when those two guys are no longer here, because they've taken such a weight off of our staff's shoulders when it comes to team building, when it comes to making sure that the locker room's the way that you'd like it to be. And I don't mean things hung in the right direction. I mean the structure in our locker room and everybody taking care of each other and being selfless. So I love the way they're playing right now, and it's continuing. It's not one and done. It's not a Friday or a Saturday. It's been both. When you need guys to step up, they've been the two that have. And it's unique if you go back to the history of when they were both recruited. As close as they've been, the recruitment wasn't close. Josh was recruited earlier in the process, and Nicky was later. So it's a pretty unique story, and one that I think is pretty special.
And it seems like they've really embraced their roles, whatever they might be, from the time they got here. I mean, Nick's been a guy who obviously scored an enormous goal last year, but they've been penalty killers. They've been two-way players, defensive kind of forwards. Sometimes people grow into those roles. Some people start in those roles and they go into other, they go up and become more offensive-minded. They've really seemed to embrace kind of that hard play that you need, and have done that for a long time. That must say a lot to be examples toward younger players.
Just selfless. And in today's world, I'm finding as a coach, as a parent, that's harder and harder to find, the people that will put others ahead of themselves. And both those guys have done that. Now, that I don't want to dwarf the work that they've put in, because in preparation, Nicky Rivera came in at a weight that he wanted to play at, which was a little bit over 200 pounds, and he was pretty solid on that. And as he got to the college game and saw how fast that it moved, he had to reinvent himself a little bit, and he's playing closer to 192, 193, and that's hard for a guy that has a body type Nick does, because he's thick, he's strong. And Josh French is the opposite. He's been trying to put on weight since he got here, and I've never had that experience. So seeing him and discussing it with him, it's been very hard. But those guys are so committed to one, making sure that their own world's taken care of both on and off the ice, and then so that they can be examples to others. And they've done just a great job. We're fortunate to have them for the amount of time that we have.
I wonder if they appreciated being at the top of the line chart last Saturday night.
I know they're not minding it now. It's you'll have to ask them that.
Matter at hand here in front of us with Bemidji State coming to town. Important series. They're number 2 in the standings right now, and they've got some, a chance, if it goes their way, to make up some ground. Hasty, what do you expect out of the Beavers this weekend here with Bemidji State coming for a couple of WCHA games?
Well, I'd like to say the usual in some forms, because they're well coached. They're always good power play wise. They're always, I think, in the top 5 since I've been in the league. They've been near the top 5 in the country year in and year out as far as penalty killing. And they're very well coached. They're disciplined. They don't take penalties so they don't beat themselves. Now what they've added to the mix is their offense has become a weapon. You know, when you look at Brady, when you look at Miller, when you look at Coombs, you start stringing together goal scorers that aren't every once in a while. They're doing it every weekend. They become a much more difficult matchup. You add all that and talk about Driscoll batting about 930 or 930 plus. The margin for error is razor thin, you know, so they're not going to give us a lot of power play opportunities, and they're going to do a good job when they go to the box at killing it. So we're going to have to make commitment for a long period of time at staying with it, and that is something that you've always had to have against Bemidji. But I just think that they're playing as well as anybody as we've seen as of late. I think they've won 6 in a row, and they're coming in here with a bit of an attitude. So it should be a great challenge for us, and we'll continue to learn more about our club.
A couple of sidebars for this weekend. Special, a couple of games for Southern Minnesota with the Zamolics getting a chance to play against each other, and Kyle Loaf, the kid from Mankato West, plays for Bemidji State. So I understand that the ticket sales have gone very well, expecting a couple big crowd. Your thoughts on the unique thing, the relationship, of course, Bemidji State's one of our oldest opponents as well, and of course, you know Coach Sartori quite well. Your thoughts on what makes this series so special?
Well, just history. You go all the way back and we talk about who helped build the programs to where they're at today, and it goes before Tom. It goes obviously before me with, you know, R.H. Peters at Bemidji, and Don Bros here. You know, they're icons. Their names are on facilities, arenas, and then now you've got a little bit of the trickle-down effect where Tom's there, I'm here, we've worked together. Todd Knotz at BSU, a Beaver grad, my associate head coach. So the relationships between the staff is close. And then you look at the lineage that you're talking about with the Zamolics. It's a special family. They're going to be competing against each other. You know, their expectations are to beat each other. That's just the way that goes inside that house. And then, you know, with Luft, tremendous amount of respect for him and his family. We were in the process of looking at recruiting him also. He's found a great home and a great fit for himself at BSU. It's a local guy coming back to play in front of his family and friends. You take all that, you take the standings in the WCHA the way that they are right now, and it makes up for a special weekend. And so it's an opportunity we're looking forward to because we're back at home and we're trying to continue to get better. And so we want to take advantage of being back at home, as I'm sure they want to take advantage of coming in and trying to steal some points.
Great. Thanks, Hasty.
Thanks, Paul.